To start, the shop front will be 10 blocks above and 4 blocks in front of where you start building. So if you want your shop front to be right here, for example, this is where the chest to input the payment will be. You want to go 4 blocks back, and then 10 blocks down, and then this is where you start building. You can use any solid block you want. I'm going to be using color-coded blocks, so I'm starting off on the brown wool, just lining redstone like that. Then you want to make a T right here with a redstone torch right there, and then just line this like that. You will have a redstone torch being powered right here, and then alright, redstone, then a torch right here that has a repeater leading into it, and then this repeater will have redstone at the back. You then want to go 1 block back right here and make a 1-tick clock, or 2-tick clock, I guess. And then right here is a redstone torch setup that will lock a hopper in the future. So like that. Now right here you want a redstone torch, redstone on top, and then this, 2 redstone right there. And then finally you just want to finish it up with the pink section, which is really simple. Just want to go like this, and then run a line underneath everything. Redstone torch right there, and then redstone on everything else. You can also put a pink block right there, and then redstone torch. Now you're going to want to start on the orange. Just grab a line right here. You can break this block. Repeater going right here, and then a comparator right here. And this comparator will lead into a solid block, which is receiving from this dropper right there. And then you want another dropper leading into it. This dropper will have a comparator on top of it, leading into a redstone torch. And then orange wool, dropper leading down, and then you're going to want this dropper leading out into a chest. This chest right here will be where all of the money that the player gives you, whether it be emeralds or diamonds or netherite, it'll end up here. You're then going to want to run a comparator out of that. Put a redstone torch on top of this, and then there, and then that should be good. Alright, go ahead and slap a pink block right there, and then you're going to want to have a piston right there. You can have blocks on top of these torches with a redstone line leading out to power these droppers. And there will be a redstone block on this, and then another piston feeding redstone block back. You're going to want to take a redstone signal from this right here, lead it back into the clock, and then you're going to want to make the actual clock part by having this configuration right here. Sorry, you actually need to raise it up by 1. And and then pop that right there. This can be a redstone torch. Then you're going to want to have this, a block here, and then you're going to want to have this on 3 ticks. Now, heading back to the brown, pop 2 blocks right here with a redstone torch here and there. You're going to want to have a dropper right here with a hopper leading into it, right there. And then if you have a block here with a comparator leading out, this clock should be stopped, and then it will only turn back on when this hopper has items in it. You can go ahead and put you can go ahead and put a redstone torch right here. That will make sure this hopper is locked. And then just surround it like that. And you can have a repeater with a redstone right there. So now back to orange, you're going to want to have a 3 redstone torch line going here. And then you can take a reading right here of the signal, just loop it down here, and then power this piston right there with this block. Alright, you can also put a redstone torch right here. For the logic of these redstone torches, it's super simple. Just pop down this. You want a redstone right there, and then a repeater right there. And then you can have a torch here, block there, repeater going out. Alright, now you're going to want to make an AND gate that's feeding into a piston. So first things first, pop down a redstone torch right here, a block right here, a redstone torch right here, and then when both of these torches are off, this redstone dust will be off, which will turn this torch on, which will then power a sticky piston that has an observer that faces this way, which will power this observer. You're then going to want to place a block right here with a redstone torch on it, put a dust on this observer, and then feed that into a wall. You can also pop down the pink line, continue it, and then this last torch right here. This will be the furthest the line gets extended for a minute. And then to test out if the orange system was successfully completed, all you need to do is place down 8 items into this top hopper right here. That should flick the system. And then put down 24 items into this top dropper right here. And then this should slowly file, like not break like that did. Fuck. To test if the system was successfully created, go ahead and temporarily remove this redstone dust. Put 8 of any stackable to 64 item in the top dropper, and then put any multiple of 8 into this top dropper right here, preferably 24, because that's the most convenient to test. You should see it slowly start dripping into this hopper, and then once it hits 8, it stops, and then drains into this chest. So you should get 1 stack of 8 into this chest. Then if you move that, you should get another stack of 8. And then finally, this dropper will fill up. And then another stack of 8. You should not have any residual ticking. There's no clocks that run while the machine is off. Everything's silent now. And then all of the items should be in the top dropper, and all of your inputted items should be in this chest. Make sure you put this redstone back when you're done testing. Now that you know the division is working, you just need to sort the items that the player inputs so that they don't input anything you don't count as currency. So just go ahead and pop down a simple item sorter, barrel on top of a hopper, and then 2 hoppers leading into it. Just need this configuration of blocks right here, a sort of staircase looking thing. You can comparator out of this hopper right here, so it's reading what's in this hopper. Once this reaches a certain signal strength, it just powers this redstone torch. It's a cool circuit found that will sort your items. You can also use this as a pretty cool item filter for like farms and whatnot, but it's really cool for this trading shop as well. So now if you put 18 items in this first slot and then fill the rest of the slots, if the player tries inputting anything, nothing will work. If you want to use honeycombs as a currency, then you can input, let's say, 16 honeycombs, and then that gets filtered through this item filter, pops right here. So boom, it's not currently working because this redstone piece is back in, so it looks like it's broken, but it is not. They will all flow into this chest, and there's still 18 and then 4. So that's the item filter. Now going back to pink and brown. For pink, you're going to want to put 1 block right here with a redstone torch on it. And then for brown, you're going to want to have a little staircase thing. And then another little staircase thing. And you can line this with redstone, like that. Alright, continuing on with the staircase for brown, it's just a simple, like this, you can break that. And then for pink, you're going to want to go ahead and create a star shape, like this, where the torch is at the base. And then you can pop down a block right here, and then you can continue this along, like that. Alright, you're actually going to want to break this block right here. Run redstone like this, redstone right there, and then you're going to want 3 repeaters like this. You can have this floor mined out and then replace it later for easier placement. But this is just denoting what ground level is, so this is where you're going to be walking around and trading from. These repeaters right here need 4 ticks on the first one, 2 on the second one, and then this one can remain at 1. You're going to want to have this redstone line right here feeding into a redstone torch. That is going to have this sort of line, all with redstone besides this one. For this, go ahead and place down a redstone repeater right here, pop down a block, and then you can extend this out 4 blocks, creating a pulse extender. So a bunch of comparators in a loop, 3 wide, 2 long, and make sure they're facing opposite directions. So one line goes this way, one line goes this way, and they feed back into themselves. And then you can have this repeater right here with a redstone torch like that, or a redstone line like that. Right here, you're creating the system to lock the chest right there. So place down a couple more blocks with some redstone. Go ahead and whatever you're making your shop out of, you can have this be any block that blocks you from being able to open a chest. Also, while we're here, make sure that this is a trapped chest. You want it to be a trapped chest instead of just a normal chest. It doesn't actually matter, but it lets the player do this, and the hopper won't take items out until they close the chest. So make sure that you have a block right here that blocks you from opening a chest. Any solid block will do, I think, but make sure that you can't open a chest while this is over it. So something like glass or leaves won't work. Go ahead and put a sticky piston right here. And then you want a repeater looking into this line. Also, make sure that this redstone right here is not redstone and it is a torch. That was an accident. Now you have finished the safety system that locks the chest, and the refund system, which refunds the player any items that they should not have put in, and the division unit, which takes their items and calculates how many items they should get in return. So what you're going to want to do is, to test it, all 8 honeycombs should be in the top of this dropper. You should have nothing in this large chest because you should count how many goes there. And then what you're going to want to do is go ahead and put 24 plus any number that isn't a multiple of 8. So I'm going to go with, let's go with 4. So I'm going to put 28 in. I expect to get 3 batches of 8 and then a refund of 4. So 24 should go into the chest that you get, and then 4 should get dispensed into a future water line that will lead this back to the player. So you can pop this in here. Honeycomb is allowed through, so 8. It is not working for some reason. I don't think it's working. Or maybe it is. No, sorry, I was looking at the wrong hopper. It is working. Okay, so 16, and then 7, 8. So now there's going to be 24 in here, and then it's going to see that you put in not a multiple of 8, and it'll dispense it out this hopper, hopefully. Or it will not do that. That's also possible. Alright, so a step I missed. What broke it is that there should be a block right here above this line right here. So a block right there, a piece of dust right there taking off of this torch, and then a torch right there. Now, theoretically, when you run the same test again, you should see that you get 3 batches of 8 and then a refund of 4, hopefully. I really ought to test before I make baseless claims. Alright, and then that's 24. And then hopefully now 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh dear. Well, that's fucked up. So a step at that I missed. Okay, so the reason that the system was not working is that you need to have a comparator here feeding out of this dropper right there, and then just pop that into a block which should power this, unpowering this torch. And then you also need to have a block here feeding off of this torch, feeding into another torch right above that. So now theoretically when you put 28 honeycombs into this chest, you will get 24 into this large chest, and then you will get 4 refunded to you. Testing that right now. Seems as though you get the first batch correctly. and then you get the second batch correctly. The third batch correctly, and then the system sees that the player put in an incorrect amount, and instead of giving them the items, it drops 4 out. So you don't get those items because you're not giving them anything in return. So that gets refunded to the player because it costs 8 to buy something, so you get a 4 refund. So that is working correctly. And now that you know the division module is working, you just need to put a hopper here feeding off of the line, which will get triggered every time it feeds the bulk items into this chest. So a hopper right here feeding off of this line with another hopper feeding into it. And then that will trigger every time this redstone block gets pushed there. Next up, you want to have a comparator leading out of this dropper and leading into a block. So just go ahead and pop that there. Right there, and then have a repeater leading out of that into a piston. You want this piston to have a redstone block and then another piston to receive that redstone block and push it back. You want to have this redstone block leading into a block right here, and then you want to have a block right next to this piston, go out a little bit, and then you want to have blocks like this in this formation. You can also put a redstone torch on the front face of this block. Alright, what you want to do here is create a like flip 1 tick pulse into this piston. You can cheat that by just doing this. Alright. You're going to need a sticky piston. Boom, and then you can run a line into this piston. This will, anytime this torch is powered, it'll just tick this once. Go ahead and pop down 2 wool right there. Go ahead and pop a wool on top of this, and then go 2 blocks back from the piston, 1 block over, 1 block up. Route redstone into a torch. Go ahead and pop down a torch on this block with a block above it, like that, and then you can put another torch right there. You're also going to want to take off this side of the torch with a redstone dust, going into a block that has a piston facing downwards. You can actually replace this redstone dust with a repeater. Then place 1 redstone dust here and bridge over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks so that you meet up with this one. Now just add 2 blocks right here, and then put a redstone torch above this redstone torch that was already created. And then you can put 2 redstone right there. Sorry, 1 redstone right here, and then redstone here. And then you want to build up 1 more block and pop down a torch right there. Alright, then just go ahead and pop down a block right there with 2 redstone on top of it. Run this line until here with a repeater, 2 redstone, 2 repeaters, and then this repeater on 4 ticks. Make sure this repeater is also on 4 ticks. Everything else should be 1 tick. Besides this one. You want this one on 3 ticks. Sorry, 2 ticks. Alright, go ahead and finish this by putting this down and this down. And then you can slab above these pieces of redstone right here. Alright, now go ahead and place blocks here, here, and then here. Alright, go ahead and pop a redstone dust right there. Build right there, and then you want to put a slab above this torch right here. Go ahead and wrap around here, and then pop down 2 pieces of redstone right there. Alright. Now you're going to want put down a block right here with a torch on it. Go ahead and pop down 3 wool right there and run 1 piece of redstone right there, and then a redstone up it. Alright, sorry, move this one up, so place this here, break this, place this here, redstone there, break this redstone and break that block. Pop down a block right here, redstone right here, and then redstone on top of this block. Now you're going to want a torch on this side of the block powered by this redstone with a line of redstone leading into a block. Pop a redstone dust right there, and then a redstone torch right there. Now just hug this redstone torch with wool, and then pop 1 piece of wool connected to this redstone. Alright, go ahead and pop a block above that, repeater right here, leading into a block with 2 droppers leading out. And then you can have 1 dropper leading into another dropper right here. Go ahead and pop down a block on the back of this dropper with a comparator leading out into another block, and then put a redstone torch on either side of that block. You can have a piston right here with a redstone block at the end of it. Go ahead and put another piston right here to return it, and then you can leave this block right behind it. And then have a redstone slab right here with a block right there. Go ahead and run redstone right here. Have a comparator leading into a block with a torch on it. And then redstone dust here, redstone repeater here. And then go ahead and place down a block right here with a torch on top of it. At this point, you should already have 8 items in this dropper down below. But right now, you're going to want to grab some more items. These can be anything. And just pop down any number in here. I'm going to have 8 because it can just be a 1-to-1 transfer. And you want to put in that piston right there, or that dropper right there. Just put any number that you want to sell for. Go ahead and pop down a piece of wool here. Alright, go ahead and pop a blue wool on top of here, with a piece of redstone dust here. We need a torch right here, right here. Repeater right here. Leading into itself right there. Alright, repeater right here, blue wool, And then you want these two to be whatever color you're making your wall. So just be whatever you want. I'm doing iron. And then 3 redstone. Feed some hoppers into this back dropper. Go ahead and grab a chest. This can be any chest. And piston our chest above the hoppers. Go ahead and pop down a slab right there. Alright, go ahead and pop down a redstone dust right here, block right there, repeater right there, and then a block right there. This repeater is on 3 ticks. Alright, this repeater is actually on 4 ticks, and then you're going to want to have a block right here with a comparator leading out from it. This is going to detect when the stock is empty. And then you're going to want to have ice right here with a redstone torch on this side, and then a block right here. Go ahead and pop down a piston right here. You're going to want a redstone block on the end of it with another piston right here with another redstone block on the end of that. Alright, go ahead and pop down a redstone dust right here. Replace this block right here with an ice block. And then put an ice block here, and then connect these up. This block right here can be a wall block, whatever you want. This can be any block that allows items to flow over it. Alright, now go ahead and this is going to be a quick thing to route all the refunded items back up to the top and drop them on the player. Put a glass block here, 2 ice blocks, a soul sand, and then cover the sides in glass. Go ahead and pop down a button. A button right here, and you're going to need some water as well. Make sure that you have this flowing like this. Cover up the top. Be careful because you don't want the water to break and flood your redstone. And then you're going to want to go all the way up to the top. And then just wall in the sides of the ice like so, all the way over to your thing. These can be wall blocks right here. Honestly, all this ice, as long as it's not interacting with a redstone torch, like this is interacting with a redstone torch, this is interacting with a redstone torch. Make it glass just to be safe, but if you know what you're doing, you can make it solid blocks where you need them. And then, as long as you're positive everything has blocks surrounding it, you can go ahead and create the bubble column right here. Make sure they're all full water blocks. And then this will flow back out. And then you can go ahead and top this off. This can be a solid block. There you go. Now a few final touches. Go ahead and pop down a sticky piston right there with a redstone block on it. Pop down a block here and then just a redstone dust. Make sure that this block right here is a solid block. And then go ahead and destroy these 2 blocks right here. Pop down a sticky piston somewhere here. Go ahead and pop down a piston right here on top of this redstone block right here. Pop a redstone block on it, and then any block right here. I'm going to use pink with a redstone dust on it. Torch on that, and then you're just going to pillar downwards, redstone torch, drop down, another redstone torch right here, and then boom. You're going to want a piston right here with a solid block on it, and it's currently out of stock. Go ahead and pop down glass blocks in these positions. You want a solid block right here, and then you want another solid block right here. Redstone on top of the glass, torch right here, and then this right here. This will now both lock the chest from being opened when it is out of stock. It will block this item hopper from taking items from the chest if they do manage to open it. And then it will also lock this, so now it does not let any more items through until the machine is back in stock. This is just to safeguard from players fucking around and messing things up like they do best. Now you can go ahead and fill in the interactive wall with solid blocks. Go ahead and fill it all in. You're going to need a indentation there. Make this look good however you want it. It is not necessary, but it's the best I can do on short notice. If you don't want the dropper to automatically dispense items, then you can just get rid of this whole circuit right here. Well, not this. You can't get rid of that, but you can get rid of those two, and then just move the wall in. However, I like it automatically dispensing the items. Same goes for the change. If you want the change to just like drop down here, you can just like make a wall right here that just drops it right there. Alright. Go ahead and you can pop a solid block right here and a shulker box here. You can use this shulker box to display what you want to trade. You should mark all of your things with their proper signs. So product comes out here. This is where you put your trade offer. This is the change chute. If this light is on, then this machine is currently out of stock, showing you that you can't mess with any of the inputs. Insert payment, and then if wrong item is inserted, then it will appear in this hopper. So while the machine is in stock, if you insert like wool or anything that isn't currency, it will end up in this hopper. You can just open the trapdoor, yoink, and then you're good. Alright. And now, theoretically, everything should be working. So if you want to stock up the machine, then all you do is you go ahead and pop all the items you want to stock up in the chest. So to make sure that even when the machine is out of stock, it will still complete any trades the player makes, this hopper or this dropper right here will always be full. And even when the machine is out of stock, this should always be full. So now all this is excess stock, and this can be used. The stuff in the dropper cannot be used unless some player makes a large trade when the machine goes out of stock. The light is off, things in stock, everything is good. You can insert payments. This is back to working. So with the trade offer, let's say it is, I like to use terracotta as an example of the like trade icon because it's like arrows moving around. So let's do 8 emeralds for, let's do 8 emeralds for 8 diamonds. So I have a spare 56 emerald. Let's get a couple stacks in there. Let's say I want, it's a 1-for-1 trade, so 8 emeralds for 8 diamonds. So I can get 64 diamonds. Let's say I want 64 diamonds. Let's do 72 diamonds, and then I should have 5 back. Or actually, no, let's do 40 diamonds. So I'm going to put 45 in. 40 diamonds, and I'll get 5 emeralds back as a refund. So this is a trapped chest, so you can do whatever fancy stuff you want with your currency while it's in this chest. It won't take it, and then as soon as you exit this chest, everything will get siphoned off, and the chute will close. So this will close. Hopefully, unless I did something wrong. Should close. It is taking it. It is not taking it. It's getting stuck in this hopper for some reason. Alright, sorry about that. I did a dumb. If you want to have 8 emeralds for 8 diamonds, you need to change the accepted currency. Right now it's honeycomb. Just go ahead and pop 4 in there, and then 18 in here. And that should work properly. And then if you want to trade, let's say you want 24 diamonds. This should give you 24 diamonds and 5 emeralds as a refund. So it will go ahead and give you 24 diamonds. Easy diamonds. This chest gets closed up while the machine is running, just to be safe. $24 diamonds and a 5 emerald refund. So this is working. You can have any amount of items traded, up to however large the dispenser inventory is. So you can have 9 times 64 items received, or 9 times 64 item cost, and anything in between. It's easy to change what you want to pay. You just go in this hopper. One final note. I'm not sure if this works, because I haven't tested it. But if you wanted to use a junk item in this hopper down here, so that you didn't have to use what the currency is if you want to charge something valuable, then you should be able to rename something non-stackable or something, and then just put a random series of numbers after that. And then if you just go ahead and take all this out, pop non-stackable in. Actually, now that I think about it, you probably need more than 10. So you can use anything for this. I'm going to use blocks of coal. No stack random numbers. Go ahead and leave the first slot blank. Pop in, say, 17 non-stackables and then 2 of your currency. Theoretically, this should work just as well as having 18 and 1. Although I have not tested this, so your mileage may vary. Let's test it. So this should give 16 diamonds and a 4-item refund. I didn't know how consistent it would be, but it looks like you can also have one more here, and then this will give us a 5 emerald refund. One fell over the edge, but that's okay. So 16 and then 5 emeralds. So yeah, you can use a junk item in this slot right here, just to substitute your valuables. And then if you don't like being able to see behind the machine right there, you can just replace this with a solid block. And there you go.